Welcome to the Genius Way Show with your host, Ben Hummel. The aim of this show is to provide education, encouragement, and insights for people who are on their own personal development journeys. As a psychotherapist, teacher, author, and creator of the Genius Way process, Ben will focus on identifying common challenges to living a purposeful life, and will share valuable psychological and spiritual tools to help you make healthy and empowering life changes. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of the Genius Way Show. I am your host, Ben Hummel, and this show is all about personal development, life fulfillment, life purpose, and today we're going to be talking about life skills. And so we all have life skills of certain types. For instance, most of us know how to wash ourselves. We've learned the skill of how to eat to sustain ourselves, how to wear warm clothes if it's cold outside, and so forth. We've also learned, so those are some of the physical skills, the physical self-care. We've also learned how to hopefully have some kind of psychological skills, setting personal boundaries, being in a social situation, being in work situations where we kind of know how to move into a social situation and be part of it, right? So the life skills that I'm going to talk about today are the life skills that still need to be developed for most people around how to find and understand and express your genius. So let me just go back and say what I mean by genius. Again, genius is not about IQ. It's not about being better than someone else at something. Genius is about your personal set of skills, talents, predispositions, leanings, callings, your personal gifts that you were born with, that are, you're here in this lifetime to bring out and express to the world. Expressing these gifts, expressing these inborn qualities leads to life fulfillment, and it leads to a life that is about kind of, growing into the full potential of what you are. Okay? And so without striving, when we can tap into our own genius qualities, we're not making something up out of thin air. We are contacting the level of our awareness where those things already exist. And when we do, it's very powerful. And anybody that sees someone doing that can see, whoa, this is really amazing. That person is tapping into something that's beyond their little personality, that's beyond their, their contrivance. Is something that's steeped in a deep connection to existence, and when that comes out of a single human being, it is just powerful and beautiful and moving and inspiring and all that stuff. So, again, throughout our lives, we've learned many different life skills, and, you can make a list of yours, and I can almost guarantee that learning how to tap into your genius is not one of your life skills. And if it is, God bless you. Write to me and give me some more information on that so I can share it with everyone else, because that's kind of my mission, and the mission of the Genius Way is to impart life skills that help others get in touch with their own genius so that it can be shared with the rest of us and shared with the world. Okay, so what is it to have a life skill that moves you towards your genius? How do you have a life skill? How do you learn something that gets you closer to who you already are at your foundational identity? So we spend a lot of time in our lives moving away from that foundational that foundational identity. We get born and we start to grow, and during that time, we have to kind of integrate with society and our family of origin and our school classmates. And, we're kind of learn to play this game of being in society. And society isn't necessarily a great place for your genius to come out. So way back in Greco-Roman times, there's a different meaning to the word education. And so the Roman word for education is educare, and I guess that's Latin. And educare really means to lead out what's in the child already. So education wasn't about teaching other things necessarily, but of finding what that child's genius is and leading it out, calling it forth, doing whatever they can to bring out what is special about that child. And again, special not as better than anyone else, but special meaning what is particular to that individual child. What did they bring with them? What is the basket of goodies that that child brought with them to share with the world? And the educator's job was not to pump them full of information that the educator thought was important, but to lead out that child's genius, the thing that was special and in particularly important and powerful in the child. So the educator's job was to be able to see what that was, to ferret it out, to kind of look for it and encourage that child to bring those things out instead of stifling them. Can you imagine if our schools were filled with that kind of teaching, that original idea of education to lead out the child's genius? The world would literally be different. And so you can say, okay, so what about now? I'm not a child anymore, and I don't really know where my genius is, and how do I bring it out now? So it's still there. And chances are throughout your lifetime, you have found a few different times, at least, when your genius was pulled out. So one of the things that I remember in my childhood, my first play that I was ever in second grade, I felt it. I had the feeling of, I am exactly where I need to be. And I don't even, remember what lines I said, but I knew exactly that this was perfect for me. Being in this play and being here on stage with everyone looking at me, that felt right to me. That felt perfect. And throughout my life, I've created that in many, many different ways, including having this little TV show here. So along the way in your life, somewhere your genius has kind of inadvertently snuck out. If it hasn't been deliberate, it's snuck out here and there. And you saw, whoa, whenever I'm fishing, let's say, or I'm, building something or, singing a song or whatever, you can feel how this is literally different than the rest of my waking life when I'm doing this certain thing in this certain way. It's different. It's kind of a level above all the other things that I do. And so throughout your life, you've seen some of those things, and that's just your genius saying, I'm here, and I want you to know that I'm here, and I want you to know that you can return to this area of your identity and bring it out more. And so that is why I wrote The Genius Way, Expressing Your Unique Gifts, a 10-step path to life fulfillment. And this is my book, and we are going to go over one of these life skills today in our guided visualization. But what I'm saying about that is that it's time to start leading out your genius again. If you're interested in having a fulfilling life and a purposeful life, you don't have to go back to childhood. You still have the potential to bring out your genius. And there are life skills that I teach that can teach you how to do that for yourself. Life skills around bringing out your genius. And that's what's really important here. We can't go back in time, but we can get in touch with and lead out our genius even now. No matter what age you are, no matter what you've been through, no matter how steeped you are in ideas about yourself, your genius is still there. Your genius is the blueprint of what you're supposed to be in this lifetime in terms of self-expression, what your fulfilling self-expression is, and it's still there waiting for you to discover it and express it. Okay? So here I want to show you a little video that illustrates this point. It's from a movie called Searching for Bobby Fischer. And there's a young chess prodigy who is playing this final chess match. And there are all kinds of people invested in him. He's got two teachers. His parents are there. And I want you to take a look at this clip to see that there are different ways of pulling out your genius. You can be taught about something that you have a really great knack at being able to do, but there's certain parts of your genius that can't be taught, that you have to kind of get to yourself, and that kind of shines through. You'll see in this clip what I'm talking about. So take a look, and on the other side, we'll come back and discuss it a little bit.
Is it over?
Is it over? He's setting him up. Josh is setting him up now. I told him that.
Trick or treat.
That was a mistake.
What was a mistake? Who made a mistake?
Look deep, Josh. It's there. It's 12 moves away, but it's there. You've got him. Take his pawn with your pawn. G takes f6, forking his bishop and rook. Don't take back with your bishop. You'll need that to guard e7. He'll take back, either with his bishop or his knight. When he does, this is the hard part, sacrifice your rook. Capturing on f6 and giving check. His king has to take your rook. King takes f6. Give him a knight check on d7, forking his king and his rook. He'll move to safety. King f5. Take his rook with your knight. He'll take back with his king. And you've got him. Don't move until you see it.
I can't see it.
Don't move until you see it.
I can't see it.
Don't move until you see it.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Here, I'll make it easier for you. He's got it.
He's got it. How do you know he's got it?
He's got it.
What? Come on, move. What's that supposed to mean?
What's that supposed to mean?
He's offering him a draw.
I'm offering you a draw. Draw? You've got to be kidding. You've lost. You just don't know it. I've lost. Look at the board. I have. Take the draw, and I'll share the championship. Take the draw. Move. Check. Good game.
Yeah, so you can see from that clip that this kid was an amazing chess player, and he had a lot of people invested in him and who were trying to teach him to be the best chess player that he could be because they saw he had an amazing knack for it. He had a gift for it, the way that he played chess. But if you look closely at this clip, there's another aspect of his genius that was there. And he was a kind person. He wasn't just there to win and beat at all, against all odds. He has a heart. He has compassion. The way that he plays chess, the way that he engages with his opponent is part of his genius as well. And so you got to bring both of those things out. The way that he plays chess is part of his genius, not just the chess skills. And so let's talk about your genius now. So what do you know of it so far? What do you know of the collection of skills and talents and callings and predispositions that you have? Okay. If the answer is not a lot, I urge you to check out my book, The Genius Way. I want you to check it out because the little time that you invest in learning these 10 life skills in this book, the more you're going to know about that inner part of yourself that when you express it directly leads to life fulfillment in what you do. So there is the what of genius, meaning what is it that I do? Am I a gardener? Am I a chess player? Am I an artist? Whatever. And there's the how. We're going to have a million artists and gardeners and chess players, but how you do it, the way in which you do what you do is unique only to you. And if you don't have the life skills to bring that out, to discover it and bring it out, and that's life fulfillment is really important to you, then I urge you to find those skills. And one of the ways is in this book with the Genius Way. And also, what I call it is the Genius Way process. It goes through a set of 10 life skills that kind of set you up to know what your genius is, what it has contained in it, and how to access it and express it. Okay, so today we're going to walk through one of the 10 life skills in this book, just to give you an example of, how to do it, what's in the book, how you approach it, and how you access some of your genius qualities. And so the life skill that I'm going to go over today is how to see your genius from your feeling self. So what does that mean? So we have, this outer world that we live in. Then there's also an inner world. Every single person has an inner world, and it's a feeling world. Okay. And how they experience the world is interpreted through their feelings. Their feelings is telling them how they're experiencing their world. And so one of the ways to find your genius is to be very much in touch with the feeling self and see where your genius is connected to it at that point. So let me give you an example. When let's say you like your genius is being on stage in some way. When you picture yourself being on stage, or when you have been on stage, there's a feeling that you get. There is a feeling of, whatever it is for you. For me, what it is, when I'm on stage and there's like people watching me from the audience, no matter how many there are there, for me, there's a sense of calm that happens, and again, it's nothing. No, it's no skill that I developed. It's just I just have it. I'm in a state of calm. I'm in the state of the present moment. I am kind of excited and calm at the same time. I'm focused, and it feels like I'm exactly where I need to be, no place else. And so that feeling is just this amazing, beautiful kind of flow state for me. And to me, that is the genius that I brought with me. It's nothing that I was taught, but I had to work to bring it out. When I saw a little bit of it, I had to work to open it up more and to access it. But to use my feeling self that knows when I'm on stage in that way, it feels like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. That feeling itself leads me to my genius. It leads me to know what I'm supposed to be doing to be able to express that genius. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read a case study from this book of a client that I worked with in opening up this aspect of their genius. Okay? This is about a client named Graham. And it's not really, it's a fake name. Okay? So if I wrote about you, I definitely wouldn't use your name. Don't worry. So Graham is a man in his mid-40s who requested genius coaching because he was feeling a lack of meaning and purpose in his life, despite being a successful stockbroker. He had reached a career plateau and was feeling disinterested and longed for a meaningful change. Unhappy in his marriage, Graham reported a lack of emotional connection with his wife, with whom he had tried for years to develop a level of communication, a deeper level of communication. But she had made it extremely clear that she wasn't open to trying couples therapy, didn't want to change, and liked their life just like it was. Graham was currently having an extramarital affair. I could see his genius expression and need for meaning and purpose striving to break out from the dull routine and disconnected life that had developed around him. The affair he was having was his unconscious attempt to try and create life movement. So working with the Genius Way process, Graham was able to identify his genius and the life movement he was trying to create by focusing on what he was wanting to feel in the future as a result of changing his life. So think about that. What he was wanting to feel in the future. When he looked closely, he saw that he longed to engage with life more fully and deeply by bringing his unexpressed intelligence and emotions into outward expression. For Graham, the key feeling that was driving his need for change was conscious engagement with others. He craved a sense of meaningful connection. He had tried for more than 20 years to feel these feelings by changing who his wife was, instead of opening an avenue of expression that would bring forth these feelings and genius expressions for himself. So the life skill that Graham was called to learn was to recognize the feeling of wanting to engage with life and others more fully and deeply, and to understand this feeling as a natural and valuable quality of his genius self. His next step was to create an expression to bring about this feeling in his daily life. He joined several personal growth groups, where exploring self-expression and interpersonal connections was the stated goal. In this way, he was able to directly act upon the seed feeling within his genius that was calling him to connect with others in a meaningful way. This added the extra dimension to Graham's life that felt specifically fulfilling and purposeful for him by providing an avenue of expression for his genius quality. So, Graham was needing a deeper connection with others. He wanted to have a very meaningful set of relationships that were not necessarily, only in his, with his wife. He tried to have it with his wife. He went and had an affair because it just wasn't working for him, right? But his affair was just a symptom of him not being able to express the quality of his genius that was, I need to have deeper connections with other people. I mean, that's what makes my life feel meaningful. Okay? And so his half aware, half asleep, half-hearted attempt to get that was to have an affair. But when you see this, I want in the future to feel fulfilled by having deep connections with others. That doesn't necessarily have to go into an affair or cheating on your spouse. What that can do is, if you understand the feeling of what you're wanting to feel to express your genius, you create a very healthy avenue of expression for it. But you've got to tap into the feeling first and know how you're wanting to feel, and then you create an expression for it. Okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a short commercial break. And after that, I'm going to come right back with the guided visualization for this life skill that's in the book, The Genius Way, Expressing Your Unique Gifts. So on the other side of the commercial, we'll do this and then we'll come back and get into it again.
Ben Hummel's writing comes from a deep well of experience, practice, and wisdom. The Genius Way teaches you the life skills you need to find your own unique genius. Summoning Genius helps readers to turn a midlife crisis into an opportunity for personal growth. You can find Ben's books on thegeniusway.com, Amazon, and most online booksellers.
Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, and then deeply exhale. Allow yourself to feel the safety and security of the room you're sitting in now, where a safe and supportive container has been established for you to have a rich and rewarding inner experience related to your genius qualities. Feel your chair supporting your body, the floor of the building supporting your chair, and the earth supporting the building you're in. This is the perfect place to be, and everything is set up to support and enhance your personal experience. Now imagine that you're sitting in your favorite chair, Your body feels relaxed, comfortable, and supported. Nothing is distracting you whatsoever. Your heart and your mind are free to explore the inner world you possess, and all of your attention and awareness can be placed there now. Slowly, you are becoming aware of an image of yourself in the future in which you're feeling fulfilled and purposeful. You're aware of the feeling of being exactly where you want to be and doing exactly what you want to do. What do you see yourself doing? What are the corresponding feelings that are happening simultaneously? Notice a few physical and emotional sensations that your experience is showing you. For instance, if you're in the sun, feel its warmth on your face. If you're playing an instrument or singing, hear the tones and feel how they resonate with your body. If you're working at a new job, notice the environment and the people around you. Find as many specific feelings and sensations as you can and name them. In doing this, you are creating a space for this future expression of yourself to pull you towards it like a magnet. Continue to notice all of the aspects of this experience that you can, and continue to name them as they arise in your consciousness. Now, as you're noticing and naming all of these things, something appears in the corner of your vision. Taking a look at this object, you see that it's a calendar. What is the date on this calendar when this experience is happening? Say the date to yourself several times. Now you're getting ready to return to the present moment. Allow yourself to feel the vitality and reality of this experience in every cell of your body. You realize that this experience has already happened in a timeless place and is as real as anything else you have ever experienced. It is now a force or energy that is drawing you towards it as part of your life path. Feeling secure in the awareness of this energy, you return to the present moment and space in this room, and when you're ready, open your eyes and be present. And so, how was that experience for you? Were you able to get into the feeling self around your genius qualities? Did you bring up some conscious material from your prima conscious? And were you able to see what you were wanting to feel in the future? How rich was it for you? So I want you to remember, as you bring up this material from your prima conscious, from that part of your consciousness that holds all your genius qualities, I want you to know that you can always go back to that and keep bringing out more and keep getting clearer and clearer and clearer on what that is. Don't just do this once. This is a practice now that you can do. So one other thing I wanted to tell you about life skills in terms of finding your genius is that it's an ongoing process that literally never stops for your whole life. Learning and developing life skills in this way is literally the path to personal fulfillment in terms of self-expression. And so why do I think the self-expression is so important? I mean, if you look around, you will see everything is expressing itself in one way or another. Everything's expressing itself. And when you look at nature, most of the expressions are pretty beautiful, pretty amazing. And, there's some harmony to them. There's some kind of balance. When you look at humans, there's no way that we can deny that even though there's some beautiful things that are expressed, there's a lot of ugliness out there, and there always has been. And so in order not to mirror that ugliness, in order to not mirror the lowest possible qualities of humans, what we need to do is to kind of get into the aspect of ourselves that is our genius, which is the best potential that we have, the blueprint for the potential of ourselves as an expressive being, and be able to kind of develop whatever skills we brought with us to the fullest degree. We have a potential form and full expression of this very life that's waiting there in potential. And when we get into the feeling aspect of it, we can feel our way into it. We can know this is good for me, this is right, this feels fulfilling, this does not, right? And so this is a lifetime piece of work. So the skills that I'm teaching here in the Genius Way are not just one time, a one-shot thing. These are like teaching people to fish, basically. And I feel like this teaching, this work is so important that that's kind of what my mission is in life at this point, is to impart this information, to impart these kind of teachings so that others can benefit from them by digging into their own genius qualities and bringing them out for all of us to see and for us to benefit from. So one thing I wanted to do too before we come to the end of our show, I wanted to say that I am going to be offering a free copy of my book to the first 10 people who write to me at ben@thegeniusway.com. So a free copy of this, if you want a free copy, be one of the first 10 people to write to me and say, I want the book. ben@thegeniusway.com. You can see it down here, ben@thegeniusway.com. So, let me know if you'd like to see a copy of that, and then we will send you one. So, okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to take another short commercial break, and I'm going to come back with some inspiration to move you into your week with something about your genius to kind of dig into and think about.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Sevilla, your host of Pivot Now. Join us on E360 TV every Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Pivot Now.
Just as we learn the life skills to take care of our physical and psychological selves, there are life skills to learn that pertain directly with our genius self, or the part of ourself that's responsible for our own unique self-expression. The life skills that we learn to explore in our genius expression are higher order skills that take sensitivity and practice to master them. They are the skills that lead to a life of meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. And when we make the effort to develop our genius expression, somehow, mysteriously, the world around us is benefited by what we share. And that's our show for this week. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to spend this time with you this week again. And until we see each other again, I want to invite you to stay curious, be kind to yourself, and remember that your genius has something to say.
Thanks for watching The Genius Way Show with Ben Hummel. Make sure to visit thegeniusway.com for the resources you need to help you on your personal life journey. You can contact Ben at ben@thegeniusway.com. And you can follow The Genius Way with Ben Hummel on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for streaming The Genius Way Show with Ben Hummel.